Welcome to Grandma Pam's Story Time. I'm Grandma Pam, and I'm going to read a story to you today. And if you're all ready to listen, you have your favorite blanket or pillow or snuggly animal, then I'm ready to start reading to you, okay? Okay, this story is called Gracy the Gosling's First Snow Adventure. Do you know what a gosling is? It's a baby goose. All right, are you ready? Okay. It had been a very cold spring, and after Gracy hatched from her egg, she walked very close to Mama Goose for warmth. You see, Gracy was a baby goose, a gosling, and she didn't know too much about living yet. Mama Goose taught Gracy how to swim and how to sort through corn and vegetables that people would bring to feed the ducks and geese at Westside Park. Mama Goose taught Gracy that most people were good and kind to animals and birds, but there were a few who thought it was funny to chase the geese at the park and throw things at them. Mama Goose would just shake her head and remind Gracy to stay away from those kinds of people, and dogs and cats too. One day Mama Goose told Gracy that she was flying out to a nearby cornfield which had not been picked the fall before. Some geese had told her that there was plenty of food in that field. When they found the field and the corn, Mama Goose would come back and get Gracy. In the meantime, Aunt Quacker would watch over Gracy and maybe even show Gracy some water diving tricks. Well, shortly after Mama Goose and the flock lifted off gracefully and flew over the hospital and out towards the lake, Gracy noticed some cold, white, wet stuff landing on her beak. A beak is a goose's nose. Gracy looked up into the sky and saw more and more of that white stuff. She was getting colder and colder, too, so she searched for Aunt Quacker by the pond. Aunt Quacker, what's that white stuff? Aunt Quacker stretched her long white wings and shook her black head. It's snow, and it looks like we will have one more cold spell before spring is here to stay. I hope the geese will be okay flying out in the fields. Aunt Quacker looked worried, which made Gracy feel worried. She wanted to ask more questions, but was afraid that Aunt Quacker would get mad at her. So she sat around with the other goslings her age and fluffed her feathers and flipped her wings to shake the snow off. When night came and Mama Goose hadn't returned, Gracy really began to worry. Aunt Quacker saw Gracy's worried face, so she lifted her huge, warm wings and nudged Gracy under the left one with little Peeper, and Gracy soon fell fast asleep. When Aunt Quacker began to move around the next morning at dawn, Gracy peeked out from under Auntie's wing. It was white everywhere. She couldn't tell the white geese from the ground. Everything was white, and boy, was it cold. Gracy looked for Mama Goose. She had to be here someplace. Gracy called, Mama! But no answer. Aunt Quacker tucked Gracy back under her wing, but Gracy called out all the louder for Mama Goose. Mama! Aunt Quacker finally gave up and told Gracy that Mama Goose hadn't come back to the park last night. Some of the other geese that Mama Goose went with made it back through the snowstorm, but not Mama, yet. Aunt Quacker said yet, for she didn't want to scare Gracy, and she felt that Mama Goose was a smart goose and would find her way back to Westside Park. Aunt Quacker stood up tall and honked and shook her great wings. She was always so impressive when she did that, and all the goslings, including Gracy, admired Auntie's size and elegance. Aunt Quacker announced, "Now, Goslings, until the rest of the geese, including Mama Goose, fly back to the park, we need to eat breakfast and swim in the pond. Have the people who so lovingly feed us each morning brought our breakfast?" Just then a car pulled into the parking lot near the museum, and Sarah and Henry, the best friends a goose could ever have, slowly crawled out of the car and pulled some grocery bags out with them. All those bags looked stuffed full of goodies for geese. Aunt Quacker and Gracie were on a graceful waddle towards Sarah and Henry when a goose, Franny by name, landed with a sliding skid in the snow and almost toppled into Gracie. Aunt Quacker nodded her head and waited for Franny to speak because he was out of breath and looked very tired. Now, if you push the second button, you'll hear the rest of the story. Bye-bye.